At this point, you've probably done a lot of work considering control and letting go and figuring out how you can change how you navigate in your family. But you're like, oh my gosh, how do I actually change that? So I have some examples of what I've been doing with clients that have really worked. It does take a little work, and I think you can get through it. So here we go. First of all, I need you to kind of rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 of how controlling am I? And what does that look like? And I want you to get really clear. I think I'm really controlling with the kids on chores, or I think I'm nuts in the morning, and just describe where that control is happening for you. This is where we start. And there's no judgment here. There's no like shame and guilt and oh my gosh, I'm a horrible human being because I do these things. What we're doing is laying a very clear starting point, because here's what I can almost promise you. In the next 2 weeks, you're gonna look back at that starting point and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that, but I wrote it here, so I must have done it. Changes and tweaks, when they're very small but very significant over time, you don't even realize the change, but everybody feels it, and it's really profound. So I want you to truly get very clear about where you're starting and what you feel you're doing, just objectively, that needs to change. I want you to be, secondly, I want you to be very clear on your brand of control. So where does this often pop up? And here's some clues. Typically, how we deal with and control our kids actually pops up in our friendships, at work, and in our relationship with our spouse or partner or boyfriend. And it's because we take ourselves wherever we go. So if we're kind of, I need this from the kids, then it's, I need this at work, and I need this from my spouse. So let's take a look at what is your brand of control and engagement with everybody, so that we're very clear about that as well. I want you to figure out, where are you emotionally dependent on people? Because sometimes that's why we're controlling, because we need them around, or we need them close. I had a client who kept her 12-year-old son kind of dependent on her for chores and food and all kinds of things, because she just wanted him near her to protect him, and as well as for her own kind of, she just loved hugging him, and she was really close to him. Ultimately, it's kind of a crippling thing when we need our kids for our own emotional needs, right? So I want you to just kind of be aware of that as well. I want you to consider the effects this is having on the family. So when we are controlling, or when we are kind of helping without being asked, what's their faces in response to us? What are they saying back to us? And these are really great clues on how we're affecting them as well. So how do we move forward? We address, is there fears here? Are we emotionally dependent? Is there fears? Are we afraid of them growing up? Are we afraid of them making mistakes? Are we afraid they're going to make the same mistakes we did? So what are the fears happening here? Sometimes if we've had a lot of loss, it's tough to think of grieving. We won't have this kind of control over our kids, and we're going to ultimately lose them too, because they're going to grow up. So maybe we need to face grief. There's these underlying things that are happening with us, and when we deal with these, we unlock control in these other areas. Another way that we can consider all this and work on ourselves is to let go of them and add to us. So the truth is, if you work on everybody rallying in the house and doing the chores that they can do and that they want to do, and you've asked them, and everybody's chipping in and things are going well, you're going to have extra time. So how can you add to your own life so that you're not kind of dependent on them or controlling them in other areas and ways, because then that's like so counterproductive. For me personally, I realized when, there's different stages of them growing up, and us letting go and then being able to add to our own lives. So some stages include just, you have summer and then school. And when they go back to school, then it's easier to add to our own life in some way. When my son started driving, it was like, wow, just because I drove for all his years of going to school, now I have these extra 2 hours in the day, right? So it's pretty profound when we let them go and add to our own lives. It reduces that need to control. One of the last ways that I think is really powerful is to realize what is us and what is them. So it's a little bit of boundaries, but it's also a little bit of ego. So it's really powerful to say, what they are doing is not about me, right? What our kid is into, or the problems, is their problem and issue. We can address the problem and issue and not go personal to them. Let it kind of look to see before we jump in. So this is all the ways of looking and being smart before we just try to grab onto a situation, and being able to say to ourselves, whoa, this is not about me. This is not about me. So let's just see what's happening here. That's a way we can pull apart control as well. I want you to finally realize that when you give yourself permission to say, I think I'm controlling, and let's see how, and let's try to change this, and you look at some of these ways that might be happening, when you give yourself that permission, you're halfway there. You're halfway to change because you recognize it. Nobody's telling you, nobody's demanding that you change. And by the way, even if you were all of these things and you saw all of these things in you, you don't have to change it all, and you don't have to change it all overnight. You can just pick one thing and go easy on yourself and have some self-compassion. It's taken your lifetime to get you to function in this way. Give yourself a couple of weeks to kind of understand and unravel and unwind, and give yourself some other options. Self-care is a huge option in all of this. So when you pull back, you're like, what do I do? What do I do? Either talk yourself down and give yourself some self-compassion. It's okay. I'm just learning. I'm trying to figure out a new way of doing this. I know they're tantruming on the floor. I just need a minute. I need to breathe. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, this is not about me right now, what's going on. Oh, look, they're still tantruming. Let me figure this out. Yeah, either I'm going to ignore it, okay, or I'm going to engage, or, hey, I bet they're hungry. Let me give them some food and, whatever. So I want you to have great hope that and great trust in yourself, that as you pull from control and bring things back to you and make your life about you again, a lot of these other things are going to unlock in amazing and beautiful ways.